Where are we in the current market cycle? How are you thinking about this? How should people be thinking about it?
I'm always bullish.
Me too.
So if you ask me, at the deepest winter in 2019, I'm bullish. 2022, 2023, I was bullish. And if you ask me at the peak, I'm bullish, and then the market goes down, have a correction. And, so if we take a long view, we're so early. Everything's just starting. I think people when they invest, they're very impatient. All right. So of course, when I invest, I want to see my money 10x tomorrow. Why not? Right. But the market doesn't work like that. So I think if you're chasing things that are against how this world works, you're going to be always disappointed.
When asked about the current market cycle, CZ makes a clear and honest point. Timing the market is incredibly difficult, even for the most experienced players in the industry. Despite the ups and downs, he has maintained a steady bullish stance. During the harsh bear market of 2019, when sentiment was at its lowest, he remained optimistic. In the chaotic downturns of 2022 and 2023, he stayed the course. And even during market peaks, he didn't shift his perspective. This consistent confidence isn't based on hype or emotion. It's grounded in a disciplined, long-term outlook and a deep understanding of the crypto market's historical 4-year cycle. For CZ, short-term volatility is just noise within a larger, more predictable pattern. Subscribe now before your favorite altcoin pumps without you.
Where are we in the current market cycle? How are you thinking about this? How should people be thinking about it?
I'm always bullish.
Me too.
So if you ask me, at the deepest winter in 2019, I'm bullish. 2022, 2023, I was bullish. And if you ask me at the peak, I'm bullish, and then the market goes down, have a correction. And, it's very hard to time the market.
Yeah.
So far, the markets go on 4-year cycles, but it's very hard to tell, if this one's going to be shorter or longer, etc. So, but I think if we take a long view, we're so early.
And also what we know about state level adoption, asset management adoption, there is a lot of big players coming in, and that feels like that's this cycle thing where people start.
Yeah, so actually on this one, I think what we've seen is that this cycle so far has been ETFs. Yeah. So US institutional money going to ETFs, and those money go to Bitcoin because the Bitcoin ETF is the biggest. So in that regard, Ethereum didn't go up that much, right? Because the money's kind of stuck with Bitcoin. But what's good for Bitcoin is good for other crypto. Eventually the money will disperse. When they're in an ETF, they usually take longer because the institutions for them to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum to other altcoins will take a bit longer. But what we've seen, and I still believe that 100% is Bitcoin is usually the first crypto that people interact with when they come to crypto. That's the first one they learn. That's the most stable. That's the most decentralized, etc. And that's the biggest market cap. But once the money is in crypto, they will eventually explore other things, right? So it will come. So I think we're still quite early. I think we're still in. If we go by 4-year cycles, it should be end of this year. Right. But we don't know for sure.
And do you think because of where we are in the network adoption that growth has slowed down yet in Bitcoin, or do you think we're actually early? Because there's an argument or discussion going on where we are in the adoption curve and our returns coming down. I don't think they are, but what do you think?
I don't think they are. I think we're just getting started. So, I think right now there's a handful of countries that's talking to me about blockchain adoption. And most other countries, I don't see anything going on. So out of 200 countries, and even there's 12 countries that are just starting, right? So US is just starting. So ETFs is only like the last, a few months, right? So everything's just starting. I think people, when they invest, they're very impatient. Right. So of course, when I invest, I want to see my money 10x tomorrow. Why not? Right. But the market doesn't work like that. So I think if you're chasing things that are against how this world works, you're going to be always disappointed. Right. So basically, you're chasing something that doesn't make sense. And if you chase too hard, then it's gonna backfire. You're gonna lose money. But I think in this world, we gotta understand how the world works. Money takes time to build, and what's good for Bitcoin is good for crypto, and it will filter to other things. So and it will take time. As long as we understand the time horizons, then you can set your expectations correctly, and then everything will make sense.
So your overall summary is just hold on, be patient,
Pretty much.
don't mess it up,
Yeah.
and if you can, build something important and do it with a mission.
Pretty much, yeah. There's a few countries who are extremely advanced on that topic. I think Bhutan, I believe His Majesty King of Bhutan is actually in the city today. He's an early crypto adopter. He's a very smart guy. They have excess energy, clean energy, hydro energy. So they've been mining Bitcoin for years.
Yeah.
So they have billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin for a very small country. Now they've added Ethereum and BNB to their national reserve. So the early adopters are moving forward. Based on public information, U.S. seems to be using the holding, at least no longer selling the Bitcoin. You know, some of the OGs like us actually kind of hope that governments will sell their Bitcoin so that other guys can buy them cheaply. But, you know, with this U.S. administration, they're very business savvy. So they understand what's valuable. So now they figure that out. With the U.S., with one of the world's largest economy holding Bitcoin now, or making a crypto reserve, other countries are forced to do it because the later you do it, the more expensive your crypto will be. So so I think we are talking with many countries on advising them how to set up a strategic reserve, and also like even very simple stuff, very basic fundamental stuff like what wallet solutions to use. Do you use a professional custody solution, or do you use your own cold wallets? Do you have enough expertise to build that kind of infrastructure, etc. So for most countries, most countries starting amount are not as big as US, right? US have like 200,000 Bitcoins or something. For most other countries, when they hold much smaller amount, we actually just recommend them to use a professional custody solution that's multi-sig, right? So no single person can move the money. When they build up to a certain large amount, then they should move to their own cold storage solution. So there's a lot of discussions along those lines.
CZ also reflects on the early days of Binance, which launched in 2017 with a bold vision of building a global, decentralized financial system. While much of that vision came to life, he openly admits that plenty went wrong along the way. The crypto industry evolved faster than even he anticipated, forcing Binance to adapt at lightning speed just to stay competitive. Interestingly, he notes that crypto, once the fastest-moving sector in tech, is now being outpaced by AI. But he sees this shift as part of the natural cycle of innovation, where each wave builds on the breakthroughs of the last. Now let's go back to the interview.
To be honest, I think they're all very early stage. I think crypto so far has not expanded beyond trading. But this also represents an opportunity. So right now, RWA is quite new. It's growing, but it's still finance related. It's still like sort of tokenizing real world assets, etc. DeSci or decentralized social media hasn't really taken off yet. There's a number of really interesting attempts that we're looking at. But when I talked about the government solutions, I think that's another area that most likely can take off. And that's not finance related, right? So those are just pure blockchain for efficiency and for transparency. For example, land title rights. In many countries, they don't have very good systems. Even in Japan, they still use a piece of paper with a scratch-off code to verify you own that piece of land. And if you lose that piece of paper, it's actually quite difficult to replace, or to get it back. So, in other parts of in Africa, there's many land you don't know who it belongs to. So, and also even in countries like US, where there is fairly mature record keeping, but the record keeping is done manually, and the local municipal office keeps that record, and it's not digitized. So when you try to buy a piece of land, you don't know the history of that land. You don't have data, so then you cannot price it, and then you have low liquidity. So there's all of these issues which can be addressed, and we are actually investing in a company that's solving this problem. We recently invested in Sign, which is another project that does digital decentralized IDs, and they are building layer 2s for governments, etc. So I'm pushing them really, really hard. So there's a lot of interesting solutions being built. Absolutely. I think that day is coming. Like with AI, so far in our world, population is related to productivity. So the higher the population, the more GDP, etc. But with AI plus robotics, or plus robots, that's going to change. So whichever country has the best economy or manufacturing and AI technologies, AI plus robots plus blockchain, they don't need that many people. So so the productivity equation is going to change. So it's innovation that matters. Yeah, in the future world, I think we can live a much more comfortable life with much less work, how we should be.
Yeah, I think there's this whole nexus of AI and crypto is very interesting. The other part of AI that people don't understand yet is if we're not careful, we're going to have 2 or 3 giants, and we need decentralization within that industry too. And I think blockchain plays a role in that. Have you any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. So today, the big AI companies use our internet data to train their models, and that happens to be with a few large internet companies, Microsoft, Google, whoever else. But going forward, as I said before, there's a lot of data that we don't store. And now we're going to be smarter about how we store our data. So they should be stored in a permission way that we only allow access when we want to, and we should be able to monetize out of it. So your health data, you can be anonymized and then used to train different AIs. Every interaction you have, every thought you have, etc. If you want to, you should be able to digitize that, blockchain, tokenize it, and then be able to monetize it. So in the future, I think and also we're seeing I think we'll give credit to the first few centralized platforms that that have the scale to innovate. But once the industry is proven, then the decentralization will happen. We've seen that with DeepSeek. They open source their model, and now everyone can use that at a fraction of the cost. So I think we're going to see more and more of that coming. So I think the future is going to be quite decentralized.
Yeah, it's also interesting because crypto's the fastest moving industry most of us had ever seen until AI came along, and now it's multiplied the whole thing.
Yeah, so that's normal though. Every new industry is going to be faster than the previous one. So internet develops so much faster than traditional industries. But with blockchain now we have internet, so we can develop so much faster than internet companies. So I think Binance is probably the first company to reach $1 billion in profits, from startup to $1 billion in profit. But that's because we had the internet, and then we had the blockchain. And then AI companies are now post blockchain. So now, if they do it well, they can easily monetize. They can easily use distributed token economics, and they should be able to grow much faster.
Yeah, I think OpenAI got to 100 million users in 3 weeks or something stupid.
Yeah, a few days. Yeah,
unbelievable, unbelievable. So let's go back a little bit. So 2017, I think you started Binance.
Yep.
When you had a vision of the industry going forwards, what you were building for, how different is it today versus then? What did you get right and wrong?
I think we got a lot of things wrong.
The internet enabled the rise of blockchain. Blockchain, in turn, is helping unlock the scalability and financial transformation needed to power AI. Together, these technologies are reshaping the world, enabling businesses to reach $1 billion in revenue faster than ever, just as Binance once did. CZ points to OpenAI hitting 100 million users in record time as proof that technological adoption is accelerating. Still, he emphasizes that for crypto to truly thrive, patience is key. Markets take time to mature, and adoption doesn't happen in a straight line, but the long-term momentum is unmistakable. Want more? Click on this video. It's even better.